Yeah. Since 2019, we've been building mindset and purpose for real estate agents, entrepreneurs, leaders, people becoming more than they were yesterday.
Monday through Friday we rise. We win the morning, we win the mind. Faith over fear, pressure into purpose, confidence built through the work. Something good is gonna happen to me. Something good is gonna happen to me. I don't need all the answers, I just need belief. Becoming who I'm called to be, making impact bigger than me. God first, doubt steps back. When it gets heavy, we figure it out. You're not here by accident, you're part of the story. Stepping strong, stepping faith. Let's get your mindset right.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How we all doing? How we all doing? Happy 4th of July to Mike Kastner. Listen, I'm just telling you, I guarantee you Mike Kastner wins this award for the farthest patron, farthest supporter right now because this man, he's first of all, he's an amazing person because what he does to help people. He's in Africa right now. He is in Africa, working and helping. I believe, what is it, the Ebola? Is that correct? The Ebola virus, and he's part of the Good Samaritan. I believe I'm saying it correctly. I could be completely wrong, but he volunteers and goes out and helps people in different, literally the world. He's been to Ukraine. That Ukraine, I was a little nervous for you, man. I was a little nervous for you when we were talking, and he'd be like, the bomb alarm just went off. I'm gonna have to go to the shelter. I don't know when I'll come back. I'm like, yeah, man, I think you need to go there. So hats off to you, man, for being here on this Figured Out Friday. So thank you. Jack, what up, brother? Good seeing you. I was just looking at your video, man. Thank you for your birthday wishes, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Michelle, David, for all of you who've been wishing me a very happy birthday, thank you very much for that. I'm very blessed to be 48 years old today. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm just very thankful that God has blessed me with so many amazing people, my family, my parents, and just really, truly thankful to be here alive today as we understand and know being on this show that we are not guaranteed tomorrow. God gives us gifts. And part of what I'm going to be talking about today, I was going back and forth on Stump the Chump, and I was reflecting on what I did at the beach, and I don't know. I asked God when I was going to the gym this morning. It was funny, the people at the gym, they're like, happy birthday, man. You're here. And it's funny because they're just like, well, where else I'm like, I guess you think you take off on your birthday? I'm like, even more, I gotta be here. So it was pretty cool to have them wish me happy birthday. But on my drive to the gym, I was asking God, I was like, all right, God, what do I do? Stump the chump? Like, what do I share on this day? Because I don't know about you all, but put a yes in the chat or put a me in the chat if you're one that reflects a little bit more on your birthday. You reflect a little bit more on your birthday. Yes, we can say January 1st, but like I don't know if there's anybody else that does it, but like on your birthday, I think you reflect a little bit more. You kind of look to see where you've been in the past. You glance in the rear view mirror of life, and hopefully you look knowing that the windshield is a lot bigger. And so I was doing that, and I said, you know what, God, where is it that you wanted me to go? And literally, it was working on self. So that was the topic that I chose today: is working on self and using the Zig Ziglar wheel of life. And I'm actually going to be doing some screen sharing over here. And for those of you, I hate to make you do it on a federal holiday, the day before the weekend, but I'm going to encourage you to take some notes today. I'm going to encourage you. How many of you feel like there's another opportunity in your life, that you have a gift that maybe you haven't touched? Maybe that you've been kind of playing small. If that's you, put a five in the chat. I also used my birthday right now, that maybe it's like the second half, I got a better opportunity. The second half, like I really just didn't give forth all the energy. Fran's one of my coaching clients, and we were talking, and she's like, I just need a good swift kick in the ass is what I need. And I was just like, all right, Fran, I could appreciate that. And Fran and I both celebrate. We Her birthday was last week, so we were having some birthday talk, and it is kind of that time period of my life where it's my birthday as well as the second half of the year. And so I wanted to use today as an opportunity to, one of the things I prayed for this morning was like helping more people. Is what do I want to do this new year, is because I call it my new birthday year, is what can I do to help more people? Where are some areas of my life? But I'm also at the same point where I also make sure that I put my oxygen mask on first. So I have to make sure that I'm pouring into myself so I have enough value, enough oxygen, enough opportunities to help other people. And so that's where I talked about today, working on self. But you all know what I like to do first before we begin, even though it's a Friday, because normally we have a guest, but trying to get guests on a holiday is not the easiest. And so I will be leading today. So, just to get you all excited. But I want to do our affirmation. So, Jay, if we could do our affirmation, and this would be a special birthday affirmation, a special 250th for our country. And just so very proud to be here in the United States, and just so very fortunate. So come off of mute, everybody. Come off of mute, even you way out there in Africa, Mike Kastner. I want even Jay and Rika to come off of mute. Lana and Fran and Paul, everybody come off of mute. Come off of mute. And let's say it all together with energy, with excitement, knowing we're going to have an amazing weekend that we have coming to us. On the count of three, let's all say it together. One, two, and three.
Something
Something
good
good
is
is
going to
going to
happen to
happen
me.
to me.
Something good
Something
Something
is
is
good is
going
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 to
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 happen
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 to
through
me.
through
me.
me.
Something good is going to
Amen.
happen to me.
Amen.
I love it. I love it. I was just thinking about my parents said that they were going to come this morning because they wanted to wish me happy. We're going to come early in the morning. And so I was like kind of like looking outside, because knowing them, they'll show up at this time. And I think that I think they like the spotlight. I think they now know that I do this on here. But my dad last night asked me a funny question, and I was kind of like, was not taken back, but I was just like, well, that seems kind of weird. Dad's like, um, so what time do you get up in the morning? Are you still getting up early? I said, yeah, I get up at 4:15 now. It was 3:57, but I sleep in a little bit during the summer, so I get up at 4:15. He's like, oh, okay. Didn't think anything of it really. I was just like, well, that's kind of strange, but just kind of kept going on. I got a text this morning at 4:07, and he says, I want to be the first person to wish you a happy birthday. And I was just like, oh, Dad, that's why you're asking me what time. So kind of use that sometimes you don't know what's being prepared for you until the blessing is put upon you in the gift. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So I pick up my phone. I'm like, man, who's already texting me? Usually I get text messages for my late night people. Like, who is it? Paul on here. I think Chet sent me a late night text. No, he sent me an early one this morning too. But sometimes I get my late night people, my West Coast people. But I was just like, my dad's texting me. So I thought that was cool. So, Dad, if you are listening, they tend to watch the recording, thank you very much for that. So, I'm going to break this down for you all. And I got about 15 minutes. I probably, as you all know, I like to talk and could talk a little bit longer on it, but I'm going to give you the abbreviated version on here. Now, if you really like it, I actually drew up and made handouts for this. This is how important I think it is, because I started doing this about a year and a half ago, and I do it every 6 months. So for those of you writing this down, like every 6 months, you should be doing a disc analysis. You should be doing your 5 love languages. You should be doing an analysis about yourself every 6 months. Why? Is because is it fair to say that life could change in 6 months? Is it fair to say that something could happen to you? Like you can get hit in the head with a golf ball, you can get pregnant, like, things could happen to you that make you feel a little bit different and reflect on. So every 6 months, this is really good. And so when I was working on self, I thought of two things that I want us to focus on before I get into the wheel of life. And the first thing is really filtering out the noise that's around us, the distractions that are around us, and really paying attention to the words that we hear. Now, I'll give you an example of how this kind of works. And one of the things is if I started coming on here and I asked Jay and Rika or some of the other people, let's see, is there anybody else on here? I don't know. Maybe there's a couple other people who speak a different language. Livia might speak a different language. But if you speak a different language and all of a sudden I ask you to come on here, or all of a sudden I could speak a different language and I just start cursing you all out, just really just lighting you all up and just cursing up a storm and really going at it. And I even go into a point that sometimes I could really throw in some body language and maybe I might even be laughing, thinking like these people don't even know what I'm telling them. I'm calling them an a-hole and they're a jackass and I'm just going at it. Y'all would absorb it and be like, I don't really know what he's saying. I have no idea what he's got. And you might even lean into it, like, boy, he's really excited about. Maybe I'm gonna mirror what he's saying. Like, wow, yeah, all right, bro. Okay, I'm feeling it. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm feeling it. It's not until I change my language and now all of a sudden you start to understand me and you put value into the words, and all of a sudden you're like, oh damn, he's calling me out. He's talking about me. I might even not even be talking about you, but all of a sudden I triggered something into you. And what happens is we started to really dive into and pay attention and really absorb the words that I'm saying, and we started to put value to them. We didn't really put value to them before, so we really couldn't comprehend it. It's not until we put value into it, and then we start to really absorb it, and then our whole world gets rocked. And what happens is in our life, we start paying attention to outside noises, even though they might not pertain to us. We start listening in and we start filtering into that and we start absorbing that, just like it is on social media, just like it is on Instagram. And we just start putting that in and then we start to believe it. Maybe, I mean, I guess I could lose some weight. I didn't really think anything about it. I mean, I didn't really want to talk about my bank account, my credit cards, but I mean, yeah, I could probably put some more money down on that. My savings account's not correct. Boy, that was really mean of him to say that. And we start listening to these words and we start taking them to heart. And then we start focusing on those words. So now let me give you another little activity. Okay. For those of you driving, you might have an advantage on this. But what I want you all to do right now is I want you to look around your room, start looking around your room, and I want you to find something brown. Find as many things as you can brown. Look around. I'm watching you, Jack. Jack, are you looking around for brown? Look for brown. Look for brown stuff. Stacy's seeing a lot of brown as she's driving. Now, some of you are just hiding on me because you're not on video, but I want you to look for brown stuff. Okay? We all good? We all found something brown? Now, I want you to tell me what was red in the room.
Red?
What was the color red in the room? Whoa, Brock. You told me brown. Why? I wasn't paying attention to red. I was just focused on brown. Now I want you to look for something red. Look for something red. Look around, look for something red, find something red for you, see what you got, find something red. Okay, we good? Now, some of us on here might not even found something red, but we went, how many of you found something that kind of looked like red? that you kind of was just like, well, that's kind of close to being red. That's red enough for this activity that Brock wants. I'll find something red. How many of you are in a room that you couldn't find something red and you're like, damn, I don't have any red in here. I might even have to leave this room to go find something red. And maybe while you're going and looking to find something red, you still have some previous experiences that you're still looking at something brown. Like you're like, well, damn, I wish you'd go back to the brown because there's a ton of brown in here. And what happens is our brains are trained that when we find something or what we put our energy towards, what we focus on, our reticular activator, we start to really zone in on that. So when I told you to look for something brown and I pivoted and I shifted and I said, now I want you to find something red, you're like, whoa, I wasn't looking for red until I what? Made that my goal. And what happens is in our life, we tend to focus on our what? Our problems, our lack, what we don't have. And we wonder why things start to expand in that direction and why, how many of you heard, drop a 5 in the chat, that you've heard of, I need to focus on what I want. I need to focus on my goals. I need to focus on the positive. I need to focus on the energy. What we talked about in the book, the gap and the gain. I need to focus on the gain. But we've heard it many times that we focus on the lack. So as I shared with you earlier this week on Tuesday, when I took my chair and I went down to the beach, I went down to the water, I should say, and I went down to the water and I sat my chair down. And the first thing I started to think about were my taxes. And I was like, these damn taxes just keep haunting me. And I always feel like I'm chasing these taxes. And then I started to think about the Success Summit, the Real Estate Success Summit. And for those of you, when we come back, I have a big announcement to tell you everything there is about it. I'm really excited about the Success Summit, so I'm going to be sharing with you. But it might be exciting for you all, but for me, it's like, damn, I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to fly down here, and I got to go through this. And a laundry list of things came into my head. And then I started to think about Brielle wants to know what we're doing for vacation in August, and I don't have a damn thing planned. And I started to think about that. And then I started to think about some other things that were going on in my life. And I started to go down and I started to focus on the what? The lack. I started to focus on the gap. I started to focus on my problems. No matter how great I want to pretend that I am, I needed to then pivot and shift. And so that's what I was starting to do during that time period, and why I think God put this on my heart today is somebody needs to hear this today, that you need to start to pivot and to start to focus on the positive. You need to start to focus on the goal that you might have. Now, for some of you on here, I'm going to bring your ego down, okay? Because I like to talk to everybody. Because there's some people on here I know they got it all figured out in some capacity. Well, Brock, I got my money, I got this, I got my business, I got my life, I got all this organized, I got this. And what I've learned, Mike Kastner helped me with this, is that sometimes it's always not about the goals. It's not always about the money. What I've learned is what's inside of you, because when I said to you, I started to be like, what does Brock really want to do in this new year, in this new birthday year, in this new second half of the year? See, one of the things that I want to do is go back to the Philippines, and I want to help these children. I want to help create an opportunity for them to learn and for them to grow. And we talked about some of the animals and the pet problem that they have out there. We talked about some of the issues with schooling. I saw the kids going to school, and I saw certain things that they were going through. So for those of you who like have it financially figured out, I want you to challenge yourself to the next level. Can you work with hunger? Can you work with kids who need more with backpack for kids? I do that here at this in our area in Lake Norman to help out those in need. To make sure that I live a legacy now that my grandkids, because one of the great things that we talked about on here, it's kind of funny. Like 100 years ago, I really don't know my grandparents, my great great grandparents very well. How many of you really know your family tree, your history? 100 years from now, do you think your kids might not even know us? And that really resonated with me. Like, I want my kids to be like, yeah, that was my great great grandpa, and he got us this. He helped leave us this tree or this beach house. My dad was the one that we were sharing it the other day, and he was just like, I want to leave people trees. I was like, trees? He goes, yeah, because if I leave you $100,000, you're gonna blow it. You're gonna spend it at some point. But if I leave you a tree, if I leave you a flower, if I leave you something you can plant someplace, it doesn't matter where. And I remember it to this T. I remember this so very well. We planted trees up in upstate New York. It was the most miserable thing ever. It was so hot. And these little trees, about the size of this pen, and I remember planting 100 of them. No joke. 100 of these trees. And as you all know, I go back to New York to see my family. Well, some of you guys don't know this part, but where I got engaged with Laura was under one of those trees. And who would have ever thought that? But that tree, if my dad didn't plant that tree, I wouldn't have thought of that idea to get engaged there. Now I end up getting divorced, and that's a whole nother situation itself, but I had to add a little humor to it. But at the same token, he left some trees. He planted something. And I want you to write this down. What are you planting for your legacy? What are you planting to leave behind that might really, money is going to come and go all. We all try to aim for that and chase that. But I've learned there's a bigger value. There's a bigger thing out there. And what is it? Because I wrote this down. How many of you, I was thinking about it while I was at the gym. Imagine if I asked all of us one day, now this is not being inappropriate, but just giving the theme of it. But what happens if I asked everybody to take their shirt off? Women, you can keep your sports bra on, but like if you took your shirt off and I said, I want you to stand in front of everybody for the show, how many people would be like, I'm a little embarrassed about my body. I'm not too sure. Like, I haven't been really working out. I haven't done anything. I haven't been really training, even though I say I want to be healthy. How many of us want to be healthy every year? How many of us want to drink more water, have more fluids, work out more, to do cardio? How many of us, if I said I want everybody to put on the chat how much money they have in their savings account, not their checking account, their savings account. I want everybody to put on here your balance on your credit card. We all own that stuff, but we don't want to share that stuff. We don't want to see that stuff because we're embarrassed by it, because we're not working on it. We talk about it, but we're not working on it. So what I want to challenge you today, and I'm going to share with you my screen here, is I want you all to understand that what you focus on expands. What you're looking at. You need to have your vision in front of you. You need to have what you're working on in front of you. If you have everything lined up and if you got life in order, then I'm going to challenge you benevolence. I'm going to challenge you working on at a higher level, just speaking at a higher level, helping more people in your community, in your church, in your schools, in your organizations, whatever that might be. Help somebody else out that might not be able, that is struggling. And be like, hey, how can I help you? What does that look like? So one of the things that I created over here is, let me do a screen share. And if you want this, I need you all to put your email in the chat because we found out this is the easiest way to do it. But this is called the Wheel of Life Reset. And this is literally what I do every 6 months. And I ask myself the question, does my wheel go round? And so I want you to look at this, and it basically is going to give you all the different parameters, all the different areas that we're working on here: spiritual, financial, mental, family, career, and physical. This is part of the Zig Ziglar. And what I'm also going to show you is this right here is, let me just pull this up right here. This is literally, I put together a worksheet. Now, this worksheet really breaks it down so you can literally put dots on this circle. They call it the spokes of life. And what I did here was I took your score summary, and what's going to happen is each one of these, you're going to ask your questions. How well do I take care of my appearance? Now, I'm just going to lean into here real quick. I'm just going to come really close to the screen. Don't bullshit yourself too when you're doing this. Don't be scared because well, maybe somebody's going to look at it. Who cares? It should. Act like somebody's going to look at it. Stop pretending. The moment you stop pretending, the moment you will actually start to do something about it. It's kind of like a New Year's resolution. I don't want to tell anybody, so when I fail at it, nobody knows. No, you should tell somebody. And hats off to all of you who actually, when I asked you to put your phone numbers on here, I had several of you, put a me in the chat if you did that. I had many of you who reached out. Now, for whatever reason, only like 2 people did it to me. I don't know if they don't want to talk to me, but I was just like, I was surprised. I was like, wow, more people didn't say anything to me. But a lot of people reached out to others when I did your phone number and I said, go have an accountability, have a conversation with y'all. I thought that was really cool for those of you who did it. Michelle did it. I know Sherry did it. Chet did it. I think Fran did it. Fran did it that one time. Really good. John Hart always does it. So, share it with somebody. Hell, put your phone number on again and be like, hey, I did Brock's activity and I just want to share it with you. I'm not really proud of this. And here's the thing, the biggest places that people like to shortcut are the things we're really not working out. Hence, financials, spiritual. Play a big game, but I ask people, like, when was the last time you go to church? And it's like, well, I think it was Easter. Well, I don't have time, Brock. It's Sunday mornings. This is my time that I go to the grocery store. That's my time. Well, if you didn't have God in your life, you wouldn't have your time. Like, you're gifted today. Anyways, so physical, spiritual, each one of these breaks it down, and then you're going to put your score in here. And it says one small action for this area that you can do. Now, that's very important that you focus on this right here, because this is how you're going to work on yourself over the next 6 months. This is what I coach and train and help people. So when people say, Brock, you're a life coach, I mean, what does that mean? That means we look at the wheel of life in some capacity, in some way, and we're going to help you. We're going to put something in play. We're going to put an action plan in play. And so you have your plan, a 30-day reset. And so if you want this, make sure you put your email in the chat, and we will get you this worksheet, and then we will get you this flyer. So then that way you can put it on here, and this is just a 1-pager, and then you can print it out, and then you can have it in front of you. I noticed I didn't say print it out and put it in a folder and tuck it away in one of the drawers. Okay. How many of us have a smart folder? How many of us have a smart drawer? That means you take everything that you get from conferences and you just put it in that smart drawer and you never pull it out again. You put it in a folder of all your handouts. And you're like, well, I haven't touched that in about a year. Why the hell do you even write the notes down? To make yourself look good in front of everybody? Notes are supposed to be taken so you can reflect on it and use it. I also recommend you taking your chat GPT, read your notes to your chat GPT and say, please create notes for me, handouts and bullet points on what I just learned today. Here's my notes. And just start talking and read your notes over. Guys, AI is a tool to use to help you. So, as I conclude today, I want you to reflect and understanding the words that you got. I want you to understand to filter the noise that's out there. Put value into the words that you want to be able to absorb to help you grow. I want you to understand what you focus on expands. And I want you to take these 7 points, these 7 spokes, and I really challenge you. And I encourage you on here, and I'm going to put my phone number on here, not because I'm bored, but I challenge you to tell me, Brock, I did the wheel of life. I did the wheel of life. And for those that say the happy birthdays to me, I'll be looking to see if you did the wheel of life as well. That'll be my little birthday treat because it's only going to help you. And as I told you, what I want to do for my birthday this new year is to help more people. And if I can help you in any capacity, if you're tired of playing small, if you're like, I need to do something like that, then you need to reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Stop playing small. You have so much in front of you, just like I do. And I encourage you. Now, Chet did ask me to give him a minute, or I don't
Yep.
know, whatever he said. Could I say something at the
Yep.
very end? I don't have no idea what the hell he's going to say. He didn't really give me any more than that, so I'll let
Well,
you take it from here, Chet, and then I'll close
can,
this out.
great. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. So, um, just an observation, and then I got a couple questions for everybody. I've been on this podcast now for a couple of months, and I think, like everybody else, I joined because I wanted to network, increase my business, and I've talked with a lot of you. We've got some things going with some of you. Others, we don't have things going yet, but that's a topic for a different day. But the question I ask myself is I look on this call, and typically there are 40 some odd people that are on this call every day. And a lot of you are on here on a regular basis. So my question for you is, why do you come on here every day? I'm not asking for an answer. I'm asking you to ask yourself that question. What is it that you get out of it by being on here every day? And then my second question is, do you know somebody else that would benefit from being on here? I am actually shocked that we get about 40 people every day, 40, 50. Not even, I don't think everyone's in 50. And I think it should be a lot more. I think that a lot more people would benefit from being on here. So I want to ask you, do you have one person that you can invite to come on the podcast every day? And I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to challenge everybody to set a goal that by the end of July, we have on a regular basis 100 people on here. Is that a lot to ask? Everybody put 100 in the chat if they're committed to doing that. I am. I know I got people to put up that I can bring on here, but put 100 in the chat. Let's all try and get, I think it would be really helpful for a lot of other people. And again, it's shocking to me that it's not. So let's go out, and by the end of July, let's have 100 people here on a regular basis. And I'm going to ask you for a couple of minutes again on Monday and Tuesday, Brock, for the people that are not here, just to give them the same message. So that's all I had to say. Let's get that done.
Whoa. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Little round of applause for you on that. You know, I Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, there's like over 1,300 people on the Mindset Show Facebook group. Jay, if you could put the Facebook group link on there. If you're not part of our Facebook group, and if you're not part of the YouTube group, make sure that you join our group because, and more people should post in it. Like, guys, I really, I do filter, like you can't promote something every single day in some capacity, but you're able to post on there and share. Maybe you want to put the wheel of life on there. Like it's to help other people and grow themselves. So thank you, Chat, for saying that. I appreciate that. That is one of my goals is to have 100 people on here. I think at one point we did have the highest number we did have, I think was 72 on here. And so, yes, I would definitely love it to have more people so we can help others around here. So, guys, I appreciate you guys taking an extra 5 minutes being on here. Really reflect on what Chet says of why you're on here, what you take from it, and I encourage you. We're gonna leave the chat open for a little bit so you can scroll up. If you didn't get your email put in here, so we can send you the Wheel of Life, the handout, and make sure some of you put your phone numbers on here that you can engage with other people. And if you're in a different country or a different area, put your WhatsApp on there so we can engage with you. What's up? Because Livia, I try to message you, but I need your WhatsApp app. So make sure you send that to me in some capacity or hit me up on Facebook. I'd love to be able to talk to you. I appreciate you all. God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing 4th of July. I hope you have a great weekend. Be safe out there. A lot of crazy people. Keep your head on a swivel. You never know. I wish you all blessings. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. God bless you. We'll see you back Monday morning at 8:15 Eastern Time. Till then, see ya.